Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pillars of Eternity. This episode we're continuing in Gilded Vale before we head off into the distance somewhere else. So without further ado, let's get back into the action. Wow. Okay, let's... Are there any stories to read in here? There's Samer and the guys. Let's talk to them. Let's see what happens.
Hello.
Hello. Don't know who you are and don't much care. Keep walking. You are not here to chat with foreigners. Oh, we are not here. Blah, blah. Okay. Careful. Looks like they are cut from the same cloth as those rowdies who attacked me. Smells like it too. I saw you outside of the mill. What was that about? Well, someone fancies themselves a meddler, eh? What's that about? It's about Trumbull thinking he's king of the town, and on account of he's got the mill to his name. It's about him barely giving us anything for the wheat we bring him, and then cutting our purses when we need to buy grain. It's about farmers going hungry while some bastards get rich off their crops. That's what it's fucking about. Now shove it off. Okay. He's not a nice fellow, is he? What if I buy you all around? Will you talk to me then? Fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats, and might be I'll feel up to trading words. Okay, what do I need to... Right, I'm sure they will be here later on. Oh, that's not stealing. I'll give them milk. Not sure why am I packing all the stuff on this guy. Let's see if we can buy... Go here. Really?
Gods keep you.
I'd like to buy a round for the fine fellows over there. Fine fellows? You are having me on. Any more fighting and I'll have to ban Sveino from this inn entirely. Until then, it's 6 copper pieces for the lot. Well, fine, 6 copper. Right then, here, 3 drinks for the 3 fools. Just take care with them. They are a hot-tempered bunch. Right.
Hail, traveler.
I brought drinks. Hey, so you have. By the flame, I never thought I'd be so happy for a mug of the Black Hound's shit beer. Wow. Gods, that's good. Alright then. You've got my attention. What is it you've got to say that's worth a round of drinks? Maybe you could tell me more about what's going on. It's like I said, the miller's in charge of the grain prices. He says they are fair, but I know for a fact that the folks like Offra pay half what we do. And maybe we've been a bit rough with him, but what are we supposed to do? We can't keep paying. We are going to starve, and do you think Trumbull's going to be sorry about it when we go, or when we do? Oh, there's no option. Maybe I could go talk to Trumbull for you. There's no good options. I don't know how to resolve this. So if you guys think, just leave a comment down below the video and let me know what you guys think I should do. And we'll see about it next time if we can still do that. Right, let's go and see that woman, and then that will probably be the end of the episode. Okay, that one, the glowing one. It's the glow. Oh. Well, first, let's pick that up. Blood moss, yay. Okay, hanging woman. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bow that sags at the tug of her nose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the robe that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Reach out for the woman. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing, electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman, and when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from the tree that stands planted in the misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the robe creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you. Wow.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy, then. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I, wherever here may be.
How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
Great. So, what's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on, some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
What did you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
Great.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Cagnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
I think I survived a bivouac. Do you know what that would be? Or do you know why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Call them. Those days are all behind me, no?
You said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Okay, I want to know something about you, now that we are talking.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
So who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
Okay, so what happened to you? She laughs, rasping, choke cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
Tell me.
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
What's an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us, the best? Inspirations, miracle workers. My parents were soul twins, miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other, turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science, a fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
Okay, thank you for your time, and farewell.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. Aloth looks at you through narrowed eyes. Are you alright? You seemed lost just now. Yes, I'm fine. He folds his arms. That's good to know, but I don't suppose you could tell me what that was all about. Well, I'm a watcher. His arched eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that's interesting. He gives you a sly grin, and I expect that explains how you survived a Bjevik, In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we are traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. I don't know you, man. But do you know anything about watches? Oh, duh. Nice one. Nice one, Mortarion, clicking on the wrong one. Oh well. Whatever.
17 and a half.
What? The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eye traces the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
Jesus, you're sick, man. Oh, what are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Okay. So, is that what people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
You could say that, yes. What was that about a dwarf?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you a moment, his brow arched. His smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a radrick at first.
You can't even see my mouth. Impossible, I don't drool half as much. Huh, so you're already familiar. Still, You have to forgive my curiosity. Round here, we prefer to turn a blind eye to our dead. Do you know what
friend? Let's not use that word round here. There'd be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
What's that supposed to mean? Hey, don't blame me. I don't have a say. You can take my word for that.
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war? Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. Fella decides he's the living incarnation of Eothas. Overthrows Red Caress. Marches on Durwood. So we gave him Durwood and Hello. What's a Durwood and Hello?
We blew him up.
Okay, so who is Eothas? God of rebirth and redemption, formerly anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. Okay, I had other questions. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Okay. Radric sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsch, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Svithin, that's my headman, he stepped up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against Radric, then for protecting me. What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea.
Oh, this. Okay.
Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me.
Whoops.
Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Well, you can see why I was eager to leave, okay. So if you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking, mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out, just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Waidwin's legacy started with Waidwin. Okay, well, who's Kolsch? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. Okay, how about you want to get out of here? How about you come with us? Where are you headed? Some place called Kadnua. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
There's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
All right then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Of course I am. Cool. Well, thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, well, subscribe, it's free, and you get notified when the next video goes out. So, thanks for watching, see you next time, bye bye.